Purple Tape Company. He was part of that, and he ended up building a business that now has done well over $500 million with that other company. So he left that opportunity, but he left in its wake tens and tens and tens of thousands of people that are healthier. And he saw an opportunity here, and he took action in a big, big way, and he's going to share a little bit of his wisdom from his book, Ripple Marketing, with you here this evening, this afternoon. So let's give a warm welcome to our one and only 5-star crown, the Doctor. So, allow me to start by dedicating this rose to all you ladies.
Oh, please. Oh, jeez.
I mean, seriously, guys, give me a break, man.
Oh, man.
I just want to dedicate this to all the amazing women in this room, because the truth of the matter is, it's the women that's really driven this business over the last 5 years, 5.5 years that I've been associated with. It's been a pleasure to be with each and every one of you. And for you guys, all I can say is go find some really talented women to help you rise in your business.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you try to do it yourself with all your testosterone, especially after consuming all that Super Life formula, there's only so far you can go with that, guys. All right, trust me. All right. But anyhow, this is for you ladies. So last night, how many of you were at the white party last night? Okay, that was kind of cool. That was kind of interesting. It was the first time I ever got all in white and went to a white party. But there was two young ladies that came up to me, and they came up and said, "What is the secret for? What are the 3 things that?" I think it was them. I didn't remember their names, but anyhow. What are the 3 things? What are the 3 secrets? What are the 3 secrets? What's the secret formula to succeeding in network marketing? And I didn't answer it on the spot. I said, well, maybe let's wait till like 2:30 tomorrow. I'll think about it and kind of lay it out there. But the first one, okay, is the level and significance of your relationships. This is a relationship business. And all of us come from different backgrounds. Some of us have more influence than others. Some of us have, more relationships than others. But if you want to succeed in network marketing, you have to not only be willing to build relationships, but go out and leverage those relationships. Because it's a levered business. The reason I'm in this business is because the leverage of other people's energy, efforts, resources, money, skill sets, the other people they know, you have to understand that. And I think what's really fascinating to me is that because we are a company that has so many amazing products, that most people that get involved in network marketing, they are very product-centric out of the gate. So it's really natural. They come in, they like the product, they want to share the product. And the good news, from Purian's perspective, is that the company pays you better than any other company in the network marketing profession. I mean, really, to get paid 25% on every $1,000 spent by a customer is pretty extraordinary. Where's Terry Lynn? Where's Terry Lynn? Is she in here?
She just stepped out.
Figures. Anyhow, I just want to recognize Terry Levy. She went out, and I think last month, Skylar, was it 13, 14K or something like that? I mean, okay, well, I mean, so. There you go, there you go. But I mean, there's somebody who just on customers goes out and is earning between $2,500 and $3,000 a month just on getting customers. But if you really want to put not only a comma in your check, but at least one, if not 2 digits in front of that comma, you need to go out and leverage more relationships and build team. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. The second key to that success formula is working on yourself. It's the personal development. They say this is a business with it's a personal development program with a compensation wrapped around it. Well, it is true. but you have to work on yourself. The only words to the wise out there that I have on that is, don't spend too much time really just working on yourself. Knowledge is powerful, but it's really applied knowledge is where the real power is. So every step you take in improving yourself in some capacity, you got to apply it. And as you're going out there. And the third key to succeeding in this business, from my perspective, is the amount of intensity you have in your effort. Okay, the intensity that you apply to what you're doing. And this is pretty darn important, because I see a lot of people come in here and they kind of like, I'm not saying they treat it as a hobby, but they do it, when it feels good for them, and they don't really focus on creating that momentum that is so important. And that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, okay, is about momentum. Now, momentum, let me see if I got this here. There we go. So what is momentum, okay, or how's it created? Well, it's created by a lot of new and excited people following a system and ultimately getting results. Okay, think about that for a moment. We all go and enroll new people, but the question really comes down to, what system are they following? Do they have some intensity in their efforts? Do they have a sense of urgency, and are they getting results? Okay, and we're going to talk about 3 types of momentum, actually. We're going to talk about personal momentum, we're going to talk about team momentum, and we're going to talk about company momentum. So personal momentum is all about your personal efforts. So when you got involved in this business, you want to take a lot of action. You want to go out there and you want to get to the 1K, you want to get to 2K, maybe the 3K, and you want to go out and get your first three or four brand partners. But you want to do it right out of the gate. And one of the core reasons that most people don't necessarily achieve that right out of the gate is because they go to their speed dial, they go to their besties, they go to their people who they feel most comfortable with, who honestly, sometimes they say yes, but most of the time they say no and they can get away with it. And then they don't reach beyond that because of the fear factor that they may have. But that personal momentum is a really key piece, okay? And then the team momentum is just going out and hitting those ranks, setting the example, setting the pace, setting the model for the team that you want to build, and having them emulate it. Okay, because whatever you do in moderation, your team, as you go out to build it, is going to do in excess. Keep that in mind. So if you're really kind of a slow pace, then, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to duplicate. And then there's team momentum, which the only thing I'll say about team momentum is company momentum, is that sometimes people get caught up in the whole momentum. Let me tell you a little bit of a story about momentum. So it was actually 5 years and 2 months ago that I was invited to come to Oahu for a month. Spent a month, almost 5 weeks on Waikiki Beach, and I worked with some of the most amazing human beings that I've ever met. As a matter of fact, these people completely liberated me from the challenge that I was in the middle of. Yeah. I've been traveling to Hawaii for 15, 16 years, pretty much on an annual basis, but this was the first time in a long time that I'd gone there to actually build a business. And as I sat down with this initial core group of people, there was a sense of urgency that they had. There was a desire to do something special for their community and their people. There was a lot of hunger, and they wanted to take flat-out massive action. And massive action they took, okay? In the first 30 days, the first full 30 days that we were there, they did 140,000 points in volume from scratch, okay? And that was because they were just going out, and it was mostly women, sorry Lauren, mostly women that were looking to not only get their own sexy back, but show other people how to get their sexy back. And that was the mantra, that was the story. And it was a really hot story. And on top of that, from a business perspective, they took a business-centric approach to it. They were all about Hawaii getting it first. And it got it first. And so we started in a living room, And that first night, we had probably 15, 20 people in that living room. And what we told the people at the end of that evening was, you can come back again tomorrow, but you can't come in unless you bring one. And so the next night, we were in the same living room, and there were people, the house was completely packed, and there were people in the carport. There were multiple presentations going on. At the end of that night, we said the same thing. You can come back, but you have to bring one. And there were so many people in that living room the next night that we couldn't even fit them in the house. 1 week later, we went to a country club. We had 150 people in that country club. And then it really started to snowball in a big way. And that's momentum. And it was genuine momentum, authentic momentum, to the point where the volume grew over the next couple months to about $250,000 a month in volume. And then it was a decision that was made that people wanted to lead, and people wanted to really get after it. So and in 4 months from that point, it went from 250,000 points a month to $1 million a month in volume. And the reason that happened was because these individuals embraced the concept of momentum and what it would take to actually achieve it. Okay? So let's talk about that a little bit. It's all system driven, right? And this is, I'm not going to elaborate too much on all these things, but it's all system driven. It has to be really simple. It has to be simple that your 5th grade child can do it and not even think about it. Okay? The biggest challenge I see with Imperium specifically, and some of the brand partners that I've interacted with, is some of them know too much for their own good. Really, they just really overcomplicate it. And it's okay, I get it, they're treating and diagnosing, which we're not supposed to do, but they're not really just focused on the simplicity aspect of it, okay? The system needs to be clearly defined. This is what you do, this is how you do it, this is what you say, this is how you say it, okay? Thirdly, it has to be tool-based. As soon as you make yourself the issue, it's gonna break down for you, it's not going to duplicate. And of course, it needs to be action-oriented. At the end of the day, the things that really create activity and duplicatable activity is the action you're going to take. So it has to be action-oriented and ultimately create duplication, okay? And I think this pretty much sums it up. People ask me sometimes, hey, how do you really make it big in network marketing? Well, in very simple terms, the big money in network marketing is knowing how to market a product that is system-dependent, not people-dependent, okay? So there are 5 systems that you should be plugging into within your Imperium team. 5 systems that are probably created, and if not in some capacity, they need to be created if you want to create momentum in your business. The first is centered on prospecting. Secondly, opportunity. Thirdly, the onboarding process. 4th, leadership development. And 5th, and last but not least, recognition. Let's just break those down. So the prospecting piece is super important. And this is where there's a challenge, because how many of you with a show of hands don't like sales? I mean, somebody mentioned earlier in a presentation. Okay, so you're not salespeople. You don't want to be salespeople, and that's okay, because I don't think many people really want to be, per se. I mean, you know, but this is where most people lack this skill. So realize that if you're using a system, it's just a function of qualifying people and then putting them through the process. Okay? It's the consistency of the message that is key here. And the only way you can really achieve that is by having eyeballs at the same presentation each and every time. If you have to give the presentation, then it's people dependent. If it's you that's going out and doing the presentation solely and not pointing somebody to a particular tool, then it's going to break down. You may be able to do it, but that doesn't mean it's going to duplicate, okay? The other point is about leading with the product of the business. I mentioned this. Most of you, I'm willing to bet, have historically led a lot with the products. And I'm not saying that's wrong. What I am saying, though, is if that's what you're doing, every time you get a new customer, you want to leverage that new customer by getting referrals. Anytime somebody has a really good, experience, you want to leverage that. But one of the things that I've heard a lot from the other presenters over the last day and a half is they're talking about becoming more business-centric. This is a really important point, guys. And a lot of people have challenges with that from time to time because maybe they're not earning the income that they think they need to earn to be able to talk business. And I'm here to tell you that it's complete nonsense. It's not necessary. Who cares what you're earning or not earning? You know why you're here. You have your why. You're on purpose with what you're doing. just go out and share that genuinely, okay? And find and identify people who would really, honestly subscribe to what we're doing, how we're doing it, and who also have, a why big enough where they want to be introduced to network marketing, introduced to this message and the message we have and the process and the model we have to build, okay? The less you say, the more you're going to make. I promise you on that, okay? Somebody said it earlier, I think it was Cindy, she talked about word vomit, where you get excited, and many of us are working full-time in other jobs, we don't have a lot of time, we get somebody involved, and it's like, oh yeah, and it's this, and you got these aminos, and you got this green drink, and this apothecary, and oh my gosh, you'll feel this, and you'll feel that. You're just blowing right through people's minds. I represented a company, and for a good amount of time, it's actually been 19 years now. Last 10 years I have not really been active with them, but they couldn't get out of their own way because they were so interested in the science and the facts and the figures and all that. And so people tried to become mini scientists and run around and treat and diagnose people. And for that reason, it's one of the reasons they're never gonna get out of their own way. And so when it comes to Purium, we don't have to really talk about that much because this, for the most part, it's food that we're offering people. And so I would just focus on that. If you're going to lead from a customer standpoint, do that, but become more business-centric in your message. Don't be afraid of it, because for every person that needs our products, whether it be weight loss or more energy or whatever it may be, in the CBD. How many of you love the CBD? How about you a hit of this? I'm a pretty chill guy, but I can use a little bit more chill. I had a guy, a friend of my father's I gave this to. He said to me, man, can they do something about the taste? I was like, what do you mean about the taste? He's like, well, it doesn't taste that great. It tastes like money to me. I don't know about you. I'm telling you, man, this stuff tastes like cash flow, seriously. Anyhow, it's a fantastic product. We'll talk about something else a little later. So anyhow,
brother.
Purpose-driven prospecting. I thought Dana did an extraordinary job yesterday when she talked about being on purpose, developing that purpose. Listen, people are going to buy into your purpose. And when you get that purpose down and you can share it in a way that's authentic and genuine, people are going to get attracted to what you have to offer. Okay, so definitely remember that. The standardized presentation. That's the second system we need. I just want to acknowledge Rob and Raven.
Yes!
These are two very talented individuals that we should be very grateful to have in our corner here. That CBD video, in my opinion, was designed as a product introduction, but I think it's the best opportunity video that I've seen in the last 20 years of me being in the network marketing profession. So Rob and Raven, thank you very much for that. It's brilliant, brilliantly done. But when it comes down to that presentation, everyone has to see the same message. So as you're going out there, whether you're using a texting service and you're having people text CBD to 55678 or whatever it may be, just put eyeballs on it, okay? That's your only objective. Gamify the process, okay? It has to be available 24/7. That's right, because listen, we're in different time zones. If you've got a business, if I'm in 6-hour difference, and I'm on the East Coast, and the team in Hawaii is, it has to be 24/7. Okay? And then there's the sense of urgency. This is the thing. You want to follow up. The fortune's always in the follow-up, but you have to create a sense of urgency out of the gate if you want to create momentum. Not hype, urgency. Okay? The third piece, the third system, is the onboarding of new customers and brand partners. And I will tell you, this is where the duplication breaks down more than anywhere in the process of all the 5 systems. If you go out and create a document, I've seen these documents created, they're like 5, 10, 15 pages. People don't want to read that. They're not going to read it. Sometimes we know too much for our own good, and we go out there and we try to give everything to everybody all at once, thinking that they're like us and we've been in the business for a while. It's just going to overwhelm them. And all we really want to do is give them a target to hit. You feed babies baby food. You feed giants giant food, right? So all we want to do is, yeah, I'm not sure. Hold on for a second. Still tastes like money. Okay, so anyhow, you want to give them a target to hit. So in the onboarding process, all we really want people to do is go out there and understand that there's two pathways. There's getting customers and building a customer group, and there's going out and building brand partners, getting leverage and building a team. Okay, so what does that really mean? That means the 1K, 2K, the K clubs, okay, and going out there and ultimately achieving director. Again, how many of you people, with a show of hands, are, what was it, associate, builder, or consultant at this point in time? Show your hands, nice and high. Okay, nice group of you, excellent. Listen, you've got 2 weeks to go to director. Seriously, I'm being really, I'm not being sarcastic with this. Listen, you can do this. This is not, you've come to a conference where you've gotten all this information that you can go out and apply. You can go out there and achieve director in the next 2 weeks before the end of the month. How many of you think, yes you do. Listen to her. Who's your up team crown? Who?
You'll see me next year.
Okay, well, Pam, we will see you next year. I see you this year. Anyhow, Pam's clearly going director, like real quick. I think she, but think of this as you end today, as you go into tomorrow, right? You just want to go out there and you want to hit this thing and hit it hard. And if you do that and you set that pace and you set your model, it's one thing to go out and make $500,000 in doing it. It's another thing being able to talk to each and every person you enroll and tell them that story. It's really powerful, and it'll be part of your momentum process. But the key in our company, as we talked about with Eric last year, is the foundational rank as the foundational rank for director. Okay, so really just focus on that, and it really just comes down to helping other people get a result. Somebody else said this morning that you go out and help somebody make $1 in this business. As I understand that stat, the retention rate is 10 times higher than that of a regular customer. Just put $1, put a gift card redemption in somebody's hand right out of the gate, and they'll get 2. You give them 2, they can get 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, so really focus on that, and focus on launching your business versus starting your business. Now the third, or is this the fourth? I guess the fourth system that you want to have set up in your organization is one for leadership development. Now, how many of you actually consider yourself a leader? Good for you. Good for you. This is a leadership program, guys. And not everybody has to be a leader, but if you really want those 2 digits in front of your comma on your monthly check, yes. How many of you want that, really? You have to take the action. You have to take the action necessary. And there's such thing as what I would call an accidental leader. And this happens when you have company momentum sometimes. I've seen people come in and all of a sudden their business blows up and it goes up by default. And then all of a sudden they have all these people in the organization and they don't really have the leadership skills in place. And they're really challenged by that. So you may need to work on your leadership skills in some capacity. But the key is having that platform. One thing we've done on our teams, and we've done it for every Friday for the last 5 years, is we have a leadership Zoom. And it brings diamonds and above together, and we talk about leadership. We talk about what it takes. We talk about what we're doing as a team, but we try to empower other people to really step up, give their voice. What I thought was really amazing in the presentations of the last couple of days were the diamonds that came on and all the interaction, like today with Cindy and Sonia. I mean, they came up, and the people that spoke were really amazing. Those people are going to become leaders. They are leaders, okay? But giving them that exposure is a really powerful thing. Keep in mind you can't be everything to everybody. Work with the people that deserve your time, not the people that need your time. Okay, this is important, because it's very taxing to drag people across the line. How many people have gotten strained shoulders or whatever it is, dragging people across? I mean, you want it more than, almost want it more for them than they want it for themselves. But that's not the way this works, okay? And you have to kind of sometimes have those tough discussions with people and allow them to, and help empower them to go out and own their own business. Because if you really want to succeed in a big, grandiose way in network marketing, you need to replace yourself. Okay, there's no success without successors in this business. And as soon as you replace yourself, and you can start developing layers of leadership, you really put yourself in a really great spot, okay? And then the last piece is developing a platform for recognition. Recognition is one of the key aspects of this business. I think with Purium, our biggest asset is our culture and our community. And I want to salute all of you for that because you've all played a key part of it, and it's a very unique, so please give yourself a round of applause. Come on, you get a little bit more excited about that. Come on. I mean, it really is an exciting place to hang out, I'll tell you. But you don't want to be random with your recognition. You got to be really on purpose. You need to be consistent with it. And one of the keys is not just recognizing results, in other words, rank advancements, but recognizing the efforts, recognizing the specific actions that people are taking. Because you know what? If you do that, they'll do more of it. And if they do more of it, they're going to make more money. And if they make more money, they're going to advance themselves. And if they advance themselves, they're going to be put in a position to say, wow, maybe I can lead a team. Okay, so recognize those efforts, recognize those specific actions. And whatever you want people to do more of, that's what you should really focus on. So if you're focused on customer acquisition and people are hitting the 1K, 2K, then recognize that. Recognize it in a big way. But I've had numerous people come up to me in elevators, in the back room, and all over the last couple days and tell me, I just got my first brand partner. Gosh, they were super excited. And I was like, this is amazing. This is absolutely incredible. There was a woman last night that came up and told me the story of her doing her healthy happy hour. She got 2 brand partners, and she was elated. She was super excited. Just the question really is, well, how did you do that? Okay, that's the way to do it. Do more of it. Okay, so a really powerful thing. At the bottom here, you can see there's a couple. Actually, you can't see anything. There you go. So there's these are just some ideas on the bottom here. You want to take a picture of this? Things you can do. You know, leadership spotlight in your private Facebook groups, doing interviews, doing lives within your Facebooks, your Facebook team pages, maybe going to Canva and creating a team badge of some sort for certain things, whether it be the K clubs or whatever it may be. Using insight in your private groups. Facebook right now is really focusing on private groups. So some of you may be dialed into it, maybe some of you not so much, but that's the key. If you can really get into a group and understand what's happening and how it's happening, you know, really great things can ultimately happen. Now, let me accelerate a little bit here and just begin with the end in mind here. How many of you, I saw the Diamond video earlier, how many of you really not only want to be at the Diamond Club in November, but know you're going to be there? Raise your hand. Listen, let me just tell you, I'm going to be there personally, and this is going to be the next layer of leadership with Imperium Health Products, and it's just a function of doing the basics in this business. If you raised your hand and yelled and screamed and got all excited, you're not director, that's what you got to do by the end of the month. You got 75 days to do it, okay? And then go help a handful of people to do the same and stay on the cutting edge of your business. This event is going to be absolutely amazing. And as I mentioned, focus on the rank of director, okay? Focus on the rank of director. That's the key to this whole thing. Now, I did have one other slide, one other thing to kind of map things out, but I don't think we have it. So, anyhow, Amy told a story about this bracelet that I presented to the Crowns the other night at the Crown dinner. And I just want to kind of touch base on that one more time, because I think it's really, really important. I took the word RISE and I broke it down in RISE, right? And it came up with an acronym, and I just want to reiterate that. The R is for responsibility, and we have a specific responsibility, first and foremost, to ourselves, okay? You guys all have bills, you all have family members, you all have something that you're in this for one particular reason. The responsibility is to yourself, okay? But there's also a responsibility to each other, to Dave and Amy, and to the hundreds and thousands of people that we haven't spoken to yet about Purium. So begin with the end in mind on that and take that responsibility. The I is for impact, and the impact that you can make on other people's lives. And it's not just a saying, you know, it's not just like, oh, it's impact, yay. No, it's really, you need to really get that mindset around that you're going out and making an impact. Because if you do that, it's going to be much more easier. When you do on-purpose, on-purpose like marketing, and you do it with an impact, awesome things can happen. Okay. The S was for strength, and that strength isn't only your internal strength, but it's the strength of the unity of a team. And this is a pretty intimate group of people, to be quite candid with you. In my previous company, at the high water mark, I had 4,000 people at the conference on my team. Okay, we need to think bigger. We need to play bigger. We need to get really serious about this. Oh, that came out of nowhere. Anyhow, there it is. And the E is for empowerment. Okay, we need to ultimately empower other people to go out and do that. And if you want to kind of share and get one of these Rise bracelets, you can just go to, I think it's wanderer.com, but it would be really cool if we went out and really kind of as a group wore these things in pride for the next year and really came back and really showcased a lot of you on this stage as a result of you each rising to achieve your highest and best in the process. So, anyhow, I think I've burned my time. But I'm looking forward to celebrating with each and every one of you tonight. We're gonna have a good time. It's Saturday night. Thanks,